And welcome back to Talk of the Town. If you've ever wondered about surrogacy or becoming a surrogate mother, then you should look no further than Christie Olsen from Forward Fertility, and she joins me now in the studio. Christie, welcome.
Hello, thanks for having me.
I think it's I'm filling in for Rich today. I think it's a nice coincidence that you and I get to talk again because I enjoyed our talk. It was probably about 6 months ago that you came on.
I think you're right.
So,
yeah.
For viewers who aren't familiar with Forward Fertility, talk to them about what does Forward Fertility do.
Forward Fertility is an egg donor and surrogacy agency based right here in Madison, Wisconsin. And as a nurse practitioner and the owner of Forward Fertility, I help women who want to be egg donors or gestational surrogates and help them connect with the couples in need of those services to form their families.
Awesome,
Yeah.
awesome. Now you're here to talk a little bit about an event that you have, two events that you have coming up called How Surrogacy Works. What can people attending these events, and the information should be across the lower third of your screen if you're interested in going, what can people attending these events expect?
Yeah, it's a really informal event. Some people will bring a friend or their partner. There's one on the east side of Madison, one on the west side of Madison. And essentially it's about an hour to 2 hours. There's a brief overview, a presentation of the various steps of surrogacy. There are also a couple women who have been gestational surrogates who will be there on hand to kind of answer questions about what it's really like. And it's just a really nice informal time to learn a little bit more and get some information about the process.
I have to imagine that for women who are thinking about becoming surrogates, I mean, that's got to be kind of a scary thing because, you know, there's a lot of questions that I think they might have. And I think having those surrogates, people who have been surrogates before on hand is great.
It really makes a big difference. There's also a little video clip I have of some clients I've worked with kind of sharing their story so that the surrogates, the people attending can kind of see who these families are who are needing some help.
Sure. Why do women become surrogates?
You know, it's interesting. It's kind of that rare person that you meet every now and again who says, oh, I loved being pregnant and it was so easy. And they're often the helper people in our communities.
Sure.
So you think of teachers or nurses,
Sure.
people in customer service, and just really women who want to help others experience parenthood.
Yeah, absolutely. And other than being a woman, obviously, what are the requirements to becoming a surrogate?
Yeah, a lot of it is just sort of common sense things that you would think, hey, if somebody was going to carry my child into this world, what would I want? So they generally are in their mid-20s to mid-30s. They're healthy. They've already had at least one healthy pregnancy, financially stable, emotionally stable, and a generally healthy medical history. There are obvious things too, no smoking, drugs, that kind of stuff.
Right, yeah. The basic things, I suppose. So what makes Forward Fertility unique amongst other places that do the same thing? Yeah,
you know, nationwide there are several hundred surrogacy agencies or egg donor agencies. And I think coming from a nursing perspective with starting Forward Fertility from being a nurse who's worked in an IVF clinic, my goal is really to connect with the surrogate and the family and kind of guide them through the whole process. So I'm really involved from day one, typically postpartum.
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure. So people know that Christie's going to take care of them.
Yeah. I mean, I can't always guarantee exactly what'll happen, but I'm definitely there with them, and really to sort of, because this is something new for most people, since I have seen many of these cycles, I can kind of help guide us by saying, hey, let's not do that because here's what could happen.
Or if they experience something that they weren't expecting, you can say, nope, that's normal, that's totally okay, that happens to this percentage of the people.
Exactly.
That do this. Yeah. So I've heard that gestational surrogates are not genetically related to their baby, and I think that's probably would be something that would be of consideration, at least to folks who are thinking of trying to find a surrogate to carry their child, is my baby going to be technically related to this surrogate mother?
Yeah.
I mean, can you talk to us about that?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's interesting. The technology of fertility treatment is sort of so far ahead of the conversation socially.
Okay.
So many people don't even realize that the technology exists to create an embryo in a laboratory and then place that embryo inside of a woman to whom she's not genetically related to that embryo. So I think that does a couple things. For the surrogate, it helps her sort of understand that this is not her child. She's simply helping bringing it into the world.
Absolutely. Well, Christie Olsen from Forward Fertility. There's two forwards coming up. They're next. Forward Fertility, thank you so much for joining us today. If you want to find out more about these two great events that are coming up, go to their website, check it out, and find out how you can get involved. Coming up next on Talk of the Town, we will talk with our good friend Marianne from Moving Forward. Stay with us.